David Carradine, part-time kung fu master, part-time movie master. He starred in, who knows how many flicks. He also died in an interesting way. But more to the point, how best to honor this movie icon than to show you probably his least known film. So, let's begin. Ooh, I bet those guys went places. Like 1994. Why do I get the feeling that this was released on Betamax? I'm surprised by how many people wanted their name in this movie.
In the year 1991, crime in America was out of control. Prisons were overloaded, police forces were understaffed. Gun battles in city streets became commonplace. No one was safe. The cities had become the battlefields of the future, and the criminals were winning the war. The public demanded change, and the government responded. Police departments across the country were shut down, and law enforcement was handed over to private enterprise. Civilian, operated, police, incorporated, took over. Basically,
To combat crime, they hired a bunch of mercenaries to hunt down people they put bounties on. Which is just the dumbest thing you could possibly do. Mercenaries don't fight for their country. They don't fight for their homes. They don't fight for their communities. They fight for money. So if a criminal were to pay them more money than the government, they'd probably go for the more money. On top of that, what's to stop them from shooting each other to take the bounty? Or shoot anyone in their way to get their money? It's not a good idea.
8x7 this week.
David Harris. I'm John Tucker. C.O.P.S. Committed a crime. We're presumed guilty until proven innocent. We have a right to die. If you choose to relinquish that right, you'll be placed under arrest and imprisoned. I haven't got all night.
You know when someone tries to sound cool but really isn't? David, not to knock him at all, but he couldn't have done like a couple of sit-ups, a couple of bicep curls, the stuff that people do when they need to get ripped for a role where they're supposed to look like a badass. I mean, he's, 52 in this movie? But he looked better in Kill Bill than he did in this movie, which is weird. Well, there goes any hope of him being a badass.
Sauce it feel, cop. Yeah, cop. What's it feel like to know you're gonna die?
I don't know. What's it feel like to act? I have a feeling you wouldn't know. Crotch shot. Seriously? Not even one bicep curl? He looks like a drunk hobo. So after that rousing fight scene, he steals their wallets? Perfect system. Uh-oh, they lived. Now what? I couldn't make this up, I swear. Physics much? Guess not. You could easily punch him in the beer gut. You know that, right? I mean, he's like right friggin'... Never mind.
Sit tight while I run in the computer. Got that?
Yeah, man, we got it.
Hell of a police force these guys are. So naturally, they're going to do what any criminal would do, and...
He's dead meat.
Try to be a nice guy.
There, cop.
Okay, that might have been the whole budget for the movie right there. Okay, have you guys had enough yet? No? Really? You like watching me suffer? Maybe that's the point of the internet. So, now we're introduced to the nerd.
What's happening, Tuck?
Scratch off David Harris. He's done.
All right, rent money.
Well, let's see what the villains are doing.
I'll give you everything. I don't care. Just don't do this.
A little late for that, Mr. Johnson. Made you an offer. You refused.
Oh, he's as menacing as the guy who does my taxes. He and Q-Ball here harass
Don't do it. Please.
a clearly distressed man and do villainy things to get a company or something. I don't really know. It's good to see that even in the future, the cops aren't there when you need them. So David, he has a name in this movie, but who cares? He's David Carradine. So he goes back to the station to check in, and oh yeah, these are the people I would trust with my life. Yeah, that one looks competent and sane.
On scratch. Harris. David E.
That's confirmed.
Uh-huh.
I wish you'd stop using my men for trash collectors. And bring one in alive for once.
Why? The bounty's the same either way. Why would you drag someone's resisting ass back to the station for the same reward? You wouldn't. That's why this wouldn't work. So the intimidating villains do villain stuff. I don't know. Something about a company, white-collar crime, getting a percentage of the... I don't know. They shoot some people. Fascinating stuff. What's David up to? Who is this? Why are we watching her drive? And subsequently take a really long time to walk into a building. Why is this the future but looks distinctly like the 1980s?
Where in the world have you been? Only around 5 minutes.
Alicia, everything has gone wrong today. Everything. My sister moved in with me last night because she had a fight with her husband. I have a fight with my landlord because my rent check bounced again. And to top the day off, I ran out of gas on the freeway.
What? There are people killing each other in the streets for money. What makes you think I care about this woman's piddly-ass problems? Is this the same movie? So, we'll just go back to David now, who's in a seedy cop bar, and... boobs! This went from a 0 to a 10 in a heartbeat. This is where we learn that the whining woman from before is a reporter doing a story on these here cops. I mean, why would you even want to look into them? They've worked out so good these past 20 minutes.
Unnecessary
We will have a
violence.
special segment every day this week focusing on civil law enforcement as opposed to government-run policing. Marion Sims, Channel 3 News.
Gee, I wonder if those two are going to have to team up. That's where we meet David's pseudo-girlfriend Roxanne, who is clearly not stuck in the 80s.
Not tonight. But, take a rain check.
Well, David turned her down. Seriously? So apparently the imposing villain and the Thing over there actually run the company that pays the cops. They're also apparently corrupt.
This secretly made surveillance tape, highlighting some of Adam's more controversial activities.
So they decide to throw a hissy fit about the tape.
Now I want that tape back. You hear me? I want that tape in my hand. I want her dead in a box 6 feet in the ground. And I want it tonight.
So, now that that's over with, what is his next move? Put a bounty on her? That is, I mean, why? That's the dumbest thing you could have done. You're the cops. Who's gonna stop you? Swoop into the station, grab her, leave, make sure she's never seen again. You put a bounty on her, and a high bounty. There's gonna be swarms of these cops everywhere, in your way, killing people, making scenes, getting unwanted attention. Well, whatever. I wonder what's gonna happen next.
Marion Sims?
Who are you? What do you want?
My name is John Tucker, C.O.P.S. You've committed a crime and been found guilty. You have the right to die. If you relinquish that right, you will be placed under arrest and imprisoned.
Wow, who could have saw that coming? I wonder if he's gonna have to protect her now.
Looks like you boys got here a little late.
We have orders from the top. She's coming with us for termination.
I'm only gonna say this once. Don't get in my way.
Gritty, gritty, bang, bang. I'll just stand here in the open and get shot. So, he has a confrontation with the one guy he had one confrontation with once in the movie before, and the dude chickens out. I feel like they're ripping off a movie, but I'm really not sure which.
You people are worse than animals. You even kill each other.
Shut up.
Lady, stop stealing my points. Oh, a happy burger. And shit for brains. I wonder what he's gonna do. Hopefully some sit-ups.
I'm afraid not.
Actually, he's gonna call people in to come and kill David. Why? That doesn't make any sense. He's a mercenary. How about you pay him and take the lady? I mean, meet him in the street. Meet him at the station. Tell everyone to stay out of his way. Give him $100 grand. Get the person out of your hair. And now we have more shooting to inappropriate music. So they shoot at each other and miss for quite a while. A long while. Couldn't they just shoot the tires? So he uses a smoke grenade to blind them, and...
That was close.
Look!
Don't panic. Just get out real slow.
Quality acting. So our hero pushes them off a cliff. You know, aren't these guys meant to help lower crime actually killing a lot of people?
Was that really necessary?
Now or kill them later.
Just like that.
What do you care? They're just animals.
Guess you should know.
They're mercenaries. What did you expect them to do? There are no cops. They're in it for the money. They can kill with impunity. It's the beauty of this system. So David takes her to the bar? You want the bounty for yourself, so you take her to a place filled with mercenaries? Oh, I wonder how much they paid these women to do this. Let me check my wallet. Oh, the plot! Right. This is stupid. So Big Shocker, he has a confrontation and has to shoot some people.
Next one of you gorillas that tries something in my place, gonna get a hole in the back of his head to pack a lunch in.
That would be intimidating if you could actually sound intimidating. So David apparently came for information because he couldn't ask the Brainiac in his car for it, and then he leaves, followed by the mercenaries, and then he calls the nerd like 5 seconds later. Nerd says there's a bounty on David's head, so they actually have a logical conversation.
So why don't you just kill me and get yourself off the hook?
You shot 2 of your own, so you're clearly in this for the money. But you won't shoot her because... reasons? Okay, let's just roll with it. What's the next part of your brilliant plan? Turn down the money and a free ride?
Just turn the girl into me. I'll drop the charges against you. That's all I ask.
It's too easy.
That's all you have to do.
I'll think about it.
Why is he suddenly not in this for the money? He kills people for bounties, then he kills his own to keep the bounties, but he won't shoot her because...
Not much time.
Yeah, I totally buy that. That's... This would have made a lot more sense if they bonded, but they didn't. So after some more half-assed shooting...
Man, I don't believe it! We got him! We got the one and only John Tucker!
and some quality acting, and some more gratuitous violence... David meets up with his girlfriend, who is promptly killed by Guido here. I miss her already. So the two bond for a while they talk about the nerd.
One night, my partner and I responded to a breaking and entering. He got shot down on the front lawn. Went into the house alone. It was dark. I was scared. Something moved in the shadows, and I fired. And I saw Billy laying there. My bullet lodged in his back. He was 6 years old. Ever since then, I've sort of looked after him.
You see what wanton violence will get you? I'm sure you learned your lesson and never had shootouts in broad daylight or shoving people off cliffs. That would make you a hypocrite. And a sociopath. But somehow the reporter is touched. Just in time for a helicopter chase. Pew 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 pew. Bang 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 bang. Pew 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 pew. Woo pow. Woo pow. Neener 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 neener. Oh. Saved by the guy getting ripped off at the beginning of the movie with a bazooka. So, are civilians regretting this whole mercenary thing yet? Then, I guess after that, they see a dead body and get all clingy. So he puts the nerd in harm's way, clearly living up to his obligation, and has him hack into the main computer of the company that's trying to kill him. Oh, and he also leaves the woman alone in a place the bad guys have already been inside. Brilliant! So naturally, he meets all of the bad guys at an empty junkyard. Full of good ideas, this one.
Glad you called me, Tucker. I knew in the end you'd be sensible about this thing.
What are they wearing? They look like businessmen from the 1970s desperately trying to act black. Does this not fit? And it goes how you expect it to. So they run around and shoot each other aimlessly. Then they walk around aimlessly, and how much time is left in this movie? David finally shoots the bad guy frontwards and scratches the side of his head, but he doesn't kill him and gets shot and falls as naturally as possible. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the battle of the two guys who clearly should have worked out more. The boss is so bored he leaves before it can even get started, or see the outcome. Brilliant!
Come on, Tucker. Get up, I want some more of your ass.
What? Crotch shot! Boy, that is some quality kicking. What's David Carradine famous for? Oh, yeah. No. He's clearly dead. Just leave him. He totally isn't coming back. Oh, shit! Okay, so he's taking down a remote control and... Okay. Alright. Okay. What? All from one button? Actually, that's about 20th on my list of what? Am I watching an episode of the Power Rangers? Nah, but Baldy's clearly dead. Clearly dead. You should go have a nap, David. Totally deserve it. So the evil boss and his non-matching footsteps go back to the HQ. What was up with that? Why even... What? Anyway, so the nerd... Good job looking after him, David. Speaking of David, he walks in the front door. What is with these people?
I'm surrendering. Right to due process.
Since when?
I'm the law in the city. Who you are as a garbage man. I decide who lives or dies. All you do is clean up the mess. And there's $100,000 for the man that shoots this bum. I'm the law! Somebody shoot this son of a bitch right now! That's an order! Do you hear me? Do it!
Why are they growing a conscience now? They've been trying to kill him for days.
Somebody doesn't shoot this son of a bitch right now, I'm putting every one of you up on charges.
Well, I guess that's over. So the nerd pushes the button and dies. Again, great work, David. Oh, that's the dude's name. He's even less intimidating now.
That's not right. That's a mistake. Don't do it! It's a mistake! No, it's a mistake! It's a mistake!
How are you supposed to get paid now? So because all bounties are now lifted, I guess, David gets to leave and ride off into the sunset with the reporter. Ah! Quasimodo's alive! What are we gonna... Oh, no, he isn't. The movie's over. The end. Finally! So, that was Future Force, and it wasn't too bad. I mean, it's just late 80s, early 90s cheese, and if you like that sort of thing... I'm guessing they produced this on a shoestring budget, because if they didn't, they should be ashamed of themselves. And it is pretty dorky and off the wall, and... Now, I know I was pretty harsh on David Carradine during this whole thing. Don't get me wrong. David Carradine is awesome. He's just not awesome in this. Something I'm going to say about a lot of actors as time goes on. But you know what? It was such cheesy fun. If they ever made a sequel, I would totally watch it. What's that? They made a sequel? Ah, shit.